Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thanks for joining us today.
You did it again.
As we wrap up Chyna here and get this done. It's been a wild journey so far, obviously.
It's amazing.
It's been a lot, and you feel like this is a weird one because you feel equally bad for her. Because a lot of this is not her fault.
No.
And at the same time, some of it is on her at the same time for having a massive ego very quickly, which is not helpful.
Can't blame anybody else for a meth addiction, I don't think.
No, and that's also another thing. It's hard to blame. Once you start doing all that kind of shit, it's like, okay, well, you're obviously...
I mean, you've done some things, too.
Done a few things here.
Shoulder some credibility.
Yeah, there's a lot of people kind of, and once she's kind of vulnerable due to her own doings, then a lot of people exploit that she's vulnerable. So then you end up with this real shit salad of a life here that this poor lady is leading at this point. We will get into this very quickly.
A sex tape where somebody spent way too much time in your ass.
A lot of it's all ass. Well, it's
way too much.
The one's called Backdoor to Chyna. I mean, it's literally. They're telling you what's good. At least you know in the title what it's going to be. It's not like it's what's this? I didn't expect this. It's you know what you're getting. So quickly before we start, though, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets. Small Town Murder live shows are set for this year. February 7th in Pittsburgh. You are up first. Get your damn tickets right now. The next night is sold out in Columbus. So if you're in that whole Ohio, Pittsburgh area, definitely Ohio Valley area, definitely get your tickets right now. And come see us in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a goddamn good time. And we're going to be announcing our 420 virtual live show pretty soon here, too, for everybody who can't make the regular live shows. And
that's the second one.
People who just want live shows. So anyway, that's good. Get Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports. Obviously, all your bonus material. You know how that goes there. Do that. We're going to have some fun with that this week. Let's get into Chyna. What do you say?
Okay.
Much like Sean Waltman, let's get into Chyna here. Yeah, and a number of other Vivid Video stars. That was her contract. She signed a contract with Vivid Video and did a whole bunch of them. And so we're in 2006 right now. Yeah. And we'll start out with a couple of quotes here from an interview she did. This is in the January 2007 issue of, and we know this magazine because we've been featured, obviously, many times and interviewed of Lifted magazine, obviously.
What is that?
It's weightlifting. At first I'm like, is that about trucks?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm like, this is about 4x4s and shit. They have another magazine called Dropped, which is about the opposite trucks, but slammed. So the Lifted magazine is going to talk to her and kind of get into a couple of the personal things here. They talk about how they ask her, obviously, thanks for joining us here, and they talk about the Surreal Life and the Surreal Life reunion show. They said, at this time, you made positive changes in your life. Can you comment on those changes? So she's turning the corner. She's good now.
Right,
this is
on the page.
This is like a redemption moment of she had the whole Surreal Life thing where everybody in the country was talking about, holy shit, you see Chyna dancing around naked with a bottle and arguing with her boyfriend and all that shit. And this is I'm good now. I'm much better.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. She said, I think that the positive changes were my separation from several things that were destructive in my life. And since then, I've become an advocate for individuals in violent relationships, even more so because I went through one. Being a public figure, there's a lot of things I did wrong. Dealing with fame and trying to have a private life because I didn't know how to deal with them. Most of the time, I didn't know how to deal with violent relationships, so I kept many things hidden. She says, instead of trying to deal with my problems, I thought they would go away naturally. But in retrospect, I've learned that those things, like domestic violence, don't go away. And so the lesson I learned was to take the risk and do what you have to do to separate yourself from that situation by asking for help. She said, a lot of women don't know how to handle that situation. It's really hard to fight alone, so I had people support me who encouraged me to walk away from a relationship that was doing more harm than good. So that's what she's saying, basically. She's saying that the whole thing was based around this relationship, which is probably a lot true because the problem is, you get in if you start a relationship and you don't have a meth habit and nobody's ever beat you up or anything like that, and then you're in a relationship where you develop a meth habit with this other person and this person there's violence going back and forth, obviously. He's put his hands on her. We know for a fact she's put her hands on him because she got arrested for it.
Right. It's documented.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's you back and forth and you can get out of that situation. That's fine. But there's still a meth addiction and there's a lot of stuff that's going to like a slug trail behind you of
still got to fix that.
Of shit. Yeah. So that's really tough. She said that, people have been helping her, but, you can't put all your shit on everybody. She said, I wasn't aware of any programs set up to help women in situations like this. Most women don't do anything because of fear, but they're already experiencing the fear and the worst part of it. So, yeah. They say, what were the happiest moments in your life? This is a good question.
It is, yeah.
In your life.
I don't think we know.
Not your career.
Not career.
What is your life? She could say, I got a doll I wanted when I was 9 or 8 for Christmas or whatever the fuck. She says, I would say there are 2 happy moments in my life. Not 2 happiest. There are 2 happy moments in my life.
Only 2 that were worthy of a smile.
Well, which topped the chart. These are the 2. Yeah. The first was when I had the opportunity to fight in Japan.
Really?
Wow. For that fight, I was invited to wrestle by the New Japan Wrestling Corporation, where I trained over a year with different fighters. When I went to fight, it was with the mentality that it was it was a positive message for women. But looking back, I wouldn't do it again. I was very appreciative of the invitation. It was very humbling. My experience in Japan taught me how to defend myself, and I consider that a gift. Yeah, in Japan, the wrestlers actually can kick your fucking ass.
Really? They're throwing blows.
The way they train over there is a completely different thing. You're in a dojo for like a long time, and you're like they used to do it where you were like somebody's helper for like 2 years, and you did everything you wanted them to do, and it was like this apprentice system that you'd come up through. But they really would beat the shit out of each other. It's all planned, but if I'm going to punch you, I'm going to punch you, and you're going to punch me back.
Just know you're about to get hit.
Exactly. So they're known for being real stiff in Japan. So you got to really know how to defend yourself, or else someone will kick the shit out of you in the ring. So she said, my experience in Japan taught me how to defend myself. The second happiest moment in my life is right now. So not even another moment. Right now. I'm good now.
This second.
And I'm in a place where I'm looking forward to more. I'm in a place where I'm enjoying just being at peace. I feel better than ever.
Yeah, the 2 times I smiled are right now and when I got punched in the mouth.
When a Japanese man punched me in the mouth.
Holy shit.
That's what's making her happy in her whole life.
Yeah. She doesn't have kids either.
No kids or anything like that, which the way her life went.
I mean, yeah.
Probably
also,
for the best.
The way she fucks, you can't get pregnant.
No, that's true. Yeah, it'd be a tough one. It'd be a tough one. The backdoor to Chyna is not a very fertile one. She says, I feel better than ever, and I feel I look my best, and I'm starting my acting career by going to several auditions. She's been acting for years, but there's still more growing to do, and in the future, I know I'll appreciate where I am right now. I feel that I have survived, and I wake up happy. Like everyone else, I'm basically living my life, and I'm enjoying it very much.
Okay, she thinks post meth addiction is her best look?
That's her best look.
Wow.
Which is, that's tough to say that. You've done a lot of things to your body here. So they said, can you comment on your beliefs in spirituality and your motivation? And she just says, I consider myself a very spiritual person, blah, 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 blah. She doesn't really get into anything. She's just, I'm very spiritual for 4 paragraphs.
Perfect.
Don't care about that. So they said, what advice would you give to young females who are interested in the entertainment business? That's a good question for someone.
Yeah.
She's like the cautionary tale at this point. So,
don't do meth. That's a good advice.
Yeah, try not to get hooked up with a boyfriend who gets you on meth probably would be great. The most important thing is to surround yourself with good people. When I began in the business, I didn't know everything, so I was around drugs and things I knew were not right. The best thing you can do is to be true to yourself and surround yourself with the right people. It's important to stop and contemplate about your life and its direction. It's okay to be alone sometimes so you can think. So, yeah.
Great answer.
That's right.
Yeah.
They said, what about you? You've had past relationships of abuse. Are you ever going to be in a relationship again? She says, definitely. I'm a relationship person. Oh. That's what she says. That's right. She said,
I don't know what that means. Okay.
Well, she doesn't like, I guess, casual relationships,
I'm a relationship person.
She likes to settle down with somebody, I guess, which seems to be true because she's had like just several long-term boyfriends, really. Yeah. That's how she's done this over the years.
Serial dater.
Yeah, she's kind of the opposite of that. She's a serial settler downer.
Relationship person.
Yeah. Serial settler downer. That's what she does. She said, and since I'm in the public eye, it's hard for people to get involved. I don't know about family since I've never had it. Yeah.
Oh.
She says she does not read any of the shit online. She says, I don't want to. Oh. Yeah, she tries not to read anything about herself online because by now it's all negative.
Oh.
It's a lot of negative shit. So.
I mean, the posters are "You've got a dick." Imagine what the articles are.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
it can't be much better than that.
It's not much better, and blogs and things like that, especially in 2008, 2007.
Jesus.
It's now pre major social media, but still,
right.
There's a lot out there.
So many people sitting there in a basement with their dick out, writing about her.
That's
about how gross she is.
While they're whacking it to her. Yeah, while they whack it to the porno. That she made. Whack it to her porn.
Yeah.
So they asked her if she'd consider returning to wrestling. She said, I still receive offers all the time. Yeah, I'm sure indies she'd be a draw if she popped up in an indie.
Sure.
Yeah. They said, and some people say that I said I plan on returning. It's been 8 years and I will not return to wrestling. It's kind of a long hiatus for that. I'm very proud of what I've done, but I've grown and I'm looking forward to future endeavors. So what's next for Joanie? After doing Surreal Life Fame Games, Jesus, that's a Road Rules / Real World Challenge type show, I think. It's one of those that's where they run out of ideas. So they're like, what if we get the people who are on the shows we already did and just make them
make them do other shit.
Yeah, we can make them play badminton in the yard and shit and see what happens.
Yeah, see who knows the rules to cornhole.
Let's do it. So she said, I'm still looking for the right medium for me. I also have a film coming out titled Illegal Aliens. In addition, my experience with Surreal Life has been so wonderful. Really. And I'm so appreciative. That's what told everyone in America she was a train wreck, was that.
Yeah.
Like, nobody paid attention to any of the other shit before that. That was like, oh, that's that wrestler lady. What happened to her? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
She said, though, I want to continue to act and work with VH1. also like to do more movies and perhaps do something in Las Vegas. And in a way, I'm starting over, and it's very exciting. I believe because I'm so unique that the right thing with my name on it has yet to come. But when it does, it's going to be great.
Oh, my God.
So that's what she says here. February 8th, 2007, she's on Larry King Live to discuss the death of Anna Nicole Smith. Yeah, who she said was a good friend of hers, apparently, she said.
I didn't know that.
I never knew. That's a weird combo to put together, those two. That is, imagine you see them walking into somewhere together. You're like, where the fuck did these two come from?
Is there even a photo online of them together?
It's a crazy visual. It has to be.
There's literally two pictures of them together.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, there you go. Well, it was 2007 too, so pre-social media.
Point, yeah.
If there was Instagram, there'd be 700,000 pictures of them.
Yeah. But if you'd think if they were together somewhere for it's obviously for promo, and there'd be shitloads of.
I don't think they were best friends. Put it that way.
I don't think.
I don't think they were best friends. I think she's probably.
I think they did a promo together.
I think probably for VH1 or something.
Yeah.
Well, Joanie is visibly upset on Larry King, and she says that she knew it was coming because of how the media ridiculed her.
Really?
Anna Nicole Smith. Yeah. It was the only option was she had to do that.
She's got to die.
She said that she's also drawing parallels between what happened to Anna Nicole Smith and what happened to her, which is like,
oh, okay,
yeah, calm down, Joanie.
Yeah, you guys drove me to meth.
That's the thing. But the other thing, I guess people who knew Anna Nicole Smith well said that Anna Nicole Smith didn't consider Chyna a friend. They didn't know each other, really. She's just on here like, oh, man, my poor, yeah.
Anna Nicole's looking for A-list celebrities to justify her being in the public eye.
Yeah, that way she can go on Larry King if she says I'm
she's
friends with
clawing
her.
Up.
Yeah.
She's not clawing with Chyna.
After the Chris Benoit thing, you saw people that you haven't seen in a long time popping up in the media to be like, well, obviously this was going to happen because of this, and this. It's just, it's something. So Larry King says, Chyna, you're having a rough time with this. Just
you're crying a lot.
Just him saying, so Chyna. She says, I totally saw that coming. I feel that. And Larry says, you saw it coming. He jumps in.
What'd you see?
She said, well, from my perspective. And he says, meaning?
Yeah. Did you see her putting needles in her fucking arm?
Calm down, Larry. Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's go. Meaning? Laurer says here, meaning, everybody's so sad now trying to, this little woman has been ridiculed from a joke. People have taken advantage of her, You start to go, why are you doing this, I've had those feelings. Last night I got in a huge fight with my friends. I thought we're friends. I keep going back and Larry says, over what?
What was the fight about?
And he's turning to the camera. Exclusive. Chyna fights with her friends. Larry King Live. Chyna. What were you fighting about?
Was the mud involved?
Tonight. Yeah, was the mud Jell-O? What substance did this fight involve?
That was the fight.
She says, you never know who's your friend. And he said, a fight over what?
This guy was a great interviewer.
And she said, and he says, it was a... So it's hilarious.
Leading the witness.
Oh, man. She says it's hard for people to relate that when you're dealing with public scrutiny nonstop, everybody's watching you, everybody's looking at you, and everything's usually toward the negative. And she's done, reality shows, and I've done them too, and I've been involved in Last Night, and so Larry says, so you feel that she got a raw deal, which is a very...
He's really putting words in her mouth and just making this interview himself. Why do you need her there, Larry?
You don't even need it. It was just you got a raw deal. He really synthesizes things down to a real tiny nugget.
Yeah.
And,
this is why you've been divorced 11 times, Larry.
What are you doing? For what? Why'd you do that?
Where are you going?
Where are you going? For why?
How much you spending on my money?
Jesus. You don't need a new car.
The other one works just fine.
It works just fine. We bought it 3 years ago. So he says, so you feel that she got a raw deal? And I feel that, she says. And King goes, okay. And She says, I feel that when she talks about her feelings, that they're the exact same as mine. Okay, now you bring in Monique Goen, I don't know, Goen. She's Anna Nicole's close friend, and like a documented close friend, actually, someone who knows her, and wife of Trim Spa CEO Alex Goen. Oh, that makes her.
The Trim Spa guy.
Trim Spa. She says, I was just in the Bahamas visiting Anna 3 weeks ago. Myself, John, James were close friends of Anna. And when I asked her about Joanie Laurer, her name, Chyna, if she was friends with her, she said, not at all.
I don't know.
Not at all. And it seems to me that Chyna keeps putting everything back on her and trying to put herself in the limelight. Because she's saying it feels like me, which she did. They said, but the pure fact is we loved her as a family member. We never, we were always there for her, whether through thick or thin, and blah, 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 blah. She said, but all of a sudden for people to come out of the woodwork like they know so much about her, it's just actually funny to me. Yeah. And Larry King says, but she does have a point when she says that people made fun of Anna Nicole.
She got a raw deal.
It's a raw deal. Raw deal. What do you think? Raw deal? No? Okay. And this lady says, yes, I mean, people made fun. And he says, they didn't treat her well enough, right?
Right.
And she finishes, of her. People made fun of her and they loved her. It was love and hate with Anna. I mean, she had so many fans and she loved her fans. But, it was a love-hate thing. But Anna was in her, she just had a big heart. And Joanie jumps in and says, that's making me very angry. And Larry says, well, you'll get a chance to answer that anger.
You won't like her when she's angry.
You don't like it when she's angry. We'll be back right after this message where Chyna, Joanie Laurer, will suplex me through my broadcast table. Next on CNN.
Well, the Trim guy's wife watches.
Well, the Trim Spa guy pops in and tells her how she could lose weight. Okay, coming back. After this message.
This is the craziest interview. Oh, Larry.
So after the commercial, that is the commercial break, too. That's what's funny. That's what's great about it. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Larry King says, Chyna, you want to respond to what Monique said, that you were not a friend of Anna Nicole's and that they take umbrage that you go around saying that you were.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Chyna, respond. Joanie says, I'm shocked because that wasn't the point. The point was I didn't speak to Anna a whole lot afterwards because I tried to, but she wouldn't return. She didn't want to. That means you're not friends. Yeah. That's what that means. She said, I wanted to be friends with her, and I tried to get in touch with her, but she didn't want to talk. That's essentially what she said.
I wanted to be friends with a lot of people.
I tried, and she didn't want to be friends with me. So that's not a friend.
That is so funny.
Why are you on a talk show? And Larry says, didn't want to be a friend of yours. And Joanie says,
so embarrassing.
It's so bad. On Larry King with another lady going, nope, hated her.
Somebody who you wanted to be friends with, their friends are saying they didn't want to be friends with you.
It's hilarious.
You got any thoughts?
Thoughts on that? Thoughts of why you have no friends, and go. We're here with Joanie Laurer talking about why nobody likes her. Joanie.
Even dead people don't like you.
Why do you have no friends?
Fuck, Larry King was an asshole.
It's hilarious. Fucking hilarious that this guy was on the air for this long.
No, just ambushing her, right?
Didn't want to be a friend of yours. Well, he asked the questions that polite people wouldn't ask, which I guess is what you want in an interview.
Your friend's friend says you're not friends. What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts? So she didn't want to be a friend of yours. Joanie says, wow, this is fucking, we got to do it in their own words because this is some double talking crazy shit here that she's going to say.
Oh, Joanie.
Joanie's all fucked up. So we're going to do in their own words, quote, I don't think it's that she didn't want to be a friend of mine. I think it's just that you want to be alone. It is, you kind of don't want to go out, or she asked me many times, come over to go over and hang out at the pool with her. And then at those times, I didn't want to go out. First of all, I think it's so extremely rude what that woman just said, because this is not about getting me publicity. I get my own. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Okay. And then she goes on to say, get some trim spa, exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Like she's saying, you're on here promoting trim spa. That's why you're here.
Right. You're here talking about how I'm not friends with her, and then you're like, try trim spa.
Try trim spa. So Larry then opens up the crosstalk to go, all right, let's have you two argue, which is amazing now. Okay, now it's not you respond to what she said. Now it's let's just get it. Let's be Jerry Springer now. Fuck it.
Now I'm not going to reframe nice comments and try to make them vicious. Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's go. So he says, Monique, is that what you think she's looking for, Monique? Publicity?
Yeah.
And this Monique says, well, when I was at Daniel's and my husband was at Daniel's funeral, I asked her, why isn't there any family members? What about your friends? And I remember Chyna being on your show when Daniel just died. And as far as I'm concerned, taking some low shots about right away, she went into all these allegations like she knew all this stuff about Anna. But yet, when I talked to Anna, she said that she was kind of like a stalker and she would call her and Anna didn't want to return her calls.
Whoa.
So for someone to make claims that they know something about someone when they haven't even spoken to them for a while, and Joanie jumps in, well, why is this about me? You're here. Why is this about you? That's the point.
Yeah.
So Larry King says, just for credentials, that's all. But we'll get off that for now. We want to go back to Anna Nicole. And Joanie says, exactly. And then they said, there's a movie they were in together, Anna Nicole Smith. Remember, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Don't remember, but she was in it.
Was it Illegal Aliens? Was she in that?
Is that coming up? I don't remember. But they said...
That's the movie that they were in together, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's coming out, I think. The movie they're in is still coming out. Because they said, Larry then goes, bad break, Chyna. If they pull the movie for a while, you're in the movie.
Yeah.
And she says the whole thing's a bad break. That's true. Yes, it was supposed to be a very exciting time. And, this is not about, I'm trying to give insight of how maybe I think Anna felt. And it's hard. It is things like the movie, which makes it sad, is like that things like the movie. I was out promoting the movie when I heard this. And it was so sad because this is such an exciting thing. And Larry said, would have been important for her. Yeah. And Joanie said it would have been important for her because it makes you feel good when you're feeling lonely or when you have those feelings and you accomplish something and get through it and it's done and people believe in you and they let you get through it. And I was there with her and it's hard and it's just hard. Makes you feel good when you finally get there. So it sounds like they met like on a movie set or doing promotions and Joanie tried to be friends with her and Anna wasn't interested. That's what it sounds like here. Yeah. Interesting. So Larry King says, Monique, have you learned anything at all about a funeral? Where? When? How? Why? Who?
Am I invited?
Is there a dress code? Am I invited? These are things I want to know. Will there be food afterwards? I'm interested in that. Should I stop to eat beforehand? This is a big deal when you go into a funeral. You get all dressed up. You want to do that. So she says, no. When we tried to contact Howard, he was just so devastated. Remember Howard Stern?
Howard K. Stern.
Yeah, the whatever the fuck on her reality show.
That guy sucked.
Ugh, he's a douche. Actually, I'm in the process of trying to contact her bodyguard, Mo, and maybe I'll be able to talk to him. But right now, it's just trying to get in contact with people that can't actually speak on the phone because they're just so devastated. What are you talking about?
What?
No. I don't care how fucking devastated you are. When someone dies, people call you, give their condolences, then you tell them about the funeral because that's what fucking adults do.
We accept condolences and say thank you for thanking me. I'll see you this date. We'll eat.
That's your job when someone dies.
Right. We'll dip carrots and ranch together.
That's it. We're going to do that. We're going to eat tiny meatballs together. Don't worry. off of toothpicks. It's going to be great.
And we'll hate them, and then we'll leave.
And we'll leave. And if we're Italian, there'll be a dice game going on somewhere in a corner somewhere.
Then we'll go somewhere and eat a lot better.
Never been to a funeral without a dice game, except for my grandmother's, and that's because it was snowing. And it was during COVID, and not a lot of people are there.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
So they said, Larry King says, Chyna, have you tried to reach anyone? Maybe Chyna's got an in on this. And she said, I just found out. Oh. And she's like, who the hell am I going to talk to? Well, then how did you get on Larry King?
Where? You can put it out there. Somebody will get you.
Totally. So King says, I know, but have you tried to reach anyone connected with her that you may know or be friends with? Yeah. And Joanie says, actually, I was called, and I was called by another producer, and it was weird because I was getting ready to do some promotion, and he said, no, I mean, have you called anyone? And she said, I have not called. Yeah. And he said, that's all I asked. I didn't ask who you called. I asked if you called. Answer my questions when I answer. Yeah. He's tired of hearing her shit.
Ask the specific questions that I answer.
She said, I have not called. And he said, I haven't asked. I asked who you, I didn't ask who you may have called. Okay. So 2007, Illegal Aliens comes out, and it is on the cover. It is, there's two names at the top, Anna Nicole Smith, Joanie Laurer.
Oh, best friends.
Yep. And it says they're here to try to save the world. Now, I don't recognize any of the three women on the cover of this thing. Look at this. I don't know. I
think that's
not
Anna Nicole.
Fuck no, that's not Anna Nicole.
It's an awfully methed up one.
They're all 15 years younger than both of these women. All three of these. So I think they might play the aliens, as we'll get into.
Oh, okay.
Which Chyna would make sense as an alien, I guess, because she's and Anna Nicole too, and it's kind of otherworldly in certain ways.
Oh boy, yeah.
So this is directed by David
Giancola.
Came out in 2007, an hour and 36 minutes. By the way, 2.7 stars out of 10 on IMDb.
2.7 out of 10.
That's not good. Out of 1,000 ratings too, so it's not like a small sample size.
It's overwhelmingly terrible.
It's terrible. So here's the description: Charlie's Angels goes sci-fi with a touch of Men in Black thrown in for good measure. Okay, when you advertise your movie to the public, it's not supposed to be the pitch you gave to the studio to get it made, because they said it's Charlie's Angels mixed with Men in Black, and they went fucking high concept gold.
Here's two movies that did well.
Yeah. Well, that's how you pitch a movie, though, is you got to say it's a cross between this and this, and if it's two exciting things, then great. But that's not what you tell the public.
No.
When the aliens morph into super hot babes and arrive to protect Earth from the intergalactic forces of evil, guided by Syntax, their holographic mentor, these illegal aliens are willing to use every trick in the book and every sexy outfit in their wardrobe to accomplish their mission. This film is filled with high-energy action, low-brow spoofs, and the high camp acting reminiscent of the classic B-movie genre. How else could this film get away with Anna Nicole Smith saving the world? Illegal Aliens pokes fun at today's Hollywood and pays tribute to the so-called bad movies we all love to hate. Okay, that was somebody's synopsis that they wrote for it. That wasn't the movie itself putting that out. Okay, so yeah, we have Chyna plays Rex. I don't know. Anna Nicole Smith plays Lucy, and I don't recognize a fucking soul in the rest of Gladys Jimenez.
Nope.
I don't know. Lenise Soren.
Nope.
Mark Woody Keppel.
Maybe those are three.
I don't know who those people are. John James.
Nope.
I don't know any of these people. Most of the people do not have IMDb pictures at all. So
really,
yeah, it's not a good.
This came out when 2007.
2007. Yeah, it's not good.
They still haven't gotten it going.
Neil Gilberti. Exactly.
Oh, man,
2007. She's in another movie, Cougar Club.
Oh.
This is an hour, 33 minutes, and this has a whopping 4 stars out of 10 on IMDb. So doing great here. And
she's improving.
She is definitely improving. And this is, on the cover, it says, "The Hunt is On, Cougar Club." It's got like a logo of like a paw thing on there.
That's not a porn?
I don't think it's a porn. I think it's a real movie. Okay. It might be softcore or something, but it says 2 friends graduate and start at a law firm. Hogan is into cougars. Spence needs his employer's recommendation for Yale Law, so being with his wife isn't smart. He helps Hogan start Cougar Club.
God.
They try to bang older ladies, apparently. This is... No, Joe Mantegna's in this movie. It's not a porno. The chick from... what's the fucking show with the nerds on it? Big Bang Theory. She's in this.
Oh.
The blonde one.
Kaylee Cuoco?
Yes, she's in this movie.
Yeah?
This is not a porn.
No,
those are legitimate actors. She's extremely wealthy. That shows in hardcore syndication.
Incredibly. She's doing very well.
At the time, she wasn't, maybe, but this is every single name has an IMDb picture. Carrie Fisher's in it, for Christ's sake. Princess Leia's in it. Yeah. Norm Crosby.
Chyna was in a movie with Princess Leia?
Yes, Norm Crosby. Fucking, it was an old guy. Yeah, Loretta Devine. Okay, there's a lot of people in this fucking movie. And Chyna plays Teddy Archibald, which sounds like a guy.
Sure does.
But, so that seems like it was like an actual studio production.
Yeah.
But didn't come out very well, obviously. It's only got 4 stars
I wonder what happened.
out of 10. I don't know. So November 20th, 2007, there's a big article about Chyna's rough road in Hollywood.
Oh.
And it is. If they need like a quote-unquote freak woman, you know what I mean? We need a big jacked-up woman, that they grab her. But it's not like she's not going to sit around and have an emotional monologue or anything. Like it's... No.
Or an introspective take on anything.
No.
But her road in Hollywood has been rocky, but it's also meth rocks on the road.
That's the problem.
That's not good.
When you got meth rocks in your road, shit gets bumpy.
It's tough. It's tough to rebound from that,
tough.
too. There's only been a few that have done it.
It's fucking true. So, I mean, at this point, too, as far as former wrestlers in movies, it was still, what are we going to hire a wrestler? Like, there's no... Yeah. Hulk Hogan had several movies in the 90s, but they were all like crappy. They were, Mr. Nanny and No Holds Barred, Suburban Commando, shit like that. Yeah. It's a great one. But Mr. Nanny's wonderful. It's so terrible. It's great.
I watched the fuck out of Suburban
Commando.
Oh, yeah. It was so dumb. And
Christopher Lloyd is in it, so that makes it fun.
There's a dumb kid. It's great.
But they said outside of like a henchman role, like Terry Funk in Roadhouse. Yeah, where he's like, one of the guys, one of the other bouncers. And outside of roles like that, he was in Over the Top, too, Terry Funk. He had a little run there in 87.
In 2007, also, it was a time when, like, a large woman is a spectacle.
Yeah.
So you can't just put her in and then just
have her be the love interest of 2 who works at an insurance company is having a hard time with, and she's,
it's not her.
It's not her. It's tough.
And then Matthew McConaughey spills coffee on her skirt, and then they meet at the dry cleaner. That's not going to be her.
No. And that's the thing with most wrestlers. The problem is they're bigger than normal people usually.
Yeah.
So when you put them in a movie, they have to be, if that's what they're playing, a freakishly large person. Right. The only person, obviously, is Dwayne Johnson, who has overcome this, but he overcame this by being an action star that had whatever. And there's just not a lot of like.
And John Cena, who's had the opportunity to laugh at himself.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does that really well.
He does. He laughs at himself really well, too. Yeah. And I think John Cena's also done a lot of acting lessons, I feel like. He's really.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think he works on that real hard.
You can't have. He's very lucky to be handsome too.
That helps.
You know what I mean? He's certainly he can work in a lot of situations, but he's willing to laugh at himself. And Chyna wasn't willing to do that.
No. She wanted to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Which I get it, but
come on,
a
giant woman.
Yeah. She said, this is talking to Slam Wrestling. She said, I've been in Hollywood for 8 years now. She said, I've done a lot of TV. I've been playing my music. I've been getting naked a lot. I've done a few movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That naked part I didn't get paid for.
No, that was not all the time, but sometimes.
Sometimes I did that for free and got arrested.
It happens, and sometimes it's just on national television for everyone to watch. She said, I have a movie that just came out. It's called Cougar Club. It's a comedy. I'm really happy about it. I got to work with a great cast like Joe Mantegna and one of my movie heroines, Faye Dunaway. How the fuck did I miss her in the cast?
Faye Dunaway's
in this, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
She's beating her with no more wire hangers, and she's attacking her. Jesus Christ. So she says she's not ruling anything out, including the role of Wonder Woman, for which rumors often link her as a prime candidate. Yeah. She said that would be perfect for her. She said that would be a wonderful role. I would absolutely love to do that. Yes, I've heard the rumors. There's a lot of rumors I hear about. Sometimes I hear about them just like the fans do in tabloids or newspapers, but I definitely love to do that kind of role. I like sci-fi roles, horror, action, anything I can play the role well in, I'd like to do. Okay. They said, does that include maybe a role back in the ring as a wrestler? And she said, well, I've never been asked. 2 interviews ago, she said, I get tons of offers to wrestle. Yeah. She said, but I haven't always been treated nicely in wrestling, so I don't know why I would. And anyway, that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to do more films. And boy, does she. Okay. She does them. Now, next, Philadelphia Daily News has an article, September 3rd, 2008, Chyna to host bikini contest.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she is going to be doing a meet and greet with fans and ready for the bikini contest, apparently.
Jesus.
I don't know. The interested models must show up by 9:30 and can win $150.
Oh, wow.
She's hosting a $150 bikini contest.
It's one rung above open mic.
Yeah, that is not what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was doing in his film career. You know what I mean?
There's thousands of dollars attached to that 150.
December 28th, 2008, Chyna's hospitalized here.
Oh, no.
She's going to be rushed to the hospital early on a Saturday, which was her birthday, by the way.
Oh, damn.
She was so drunk that when she was admitted, the psychiatrist at the hospital couldn't even do a psych evaluation on her because she was so shit-hammered.
That loaded.
Paramedics were called to her home in Burbank just before 5 a.m. All-night bender there, and who knows how long. Saturday, she was celebrating her birthday with a few friends and had way too many drinks, which didn't mix well with all of her prescriptions.
Right.
Friends found her passed out with cuts on her arms and were so worried they called 911. After she was taken to the hospital, doctors wanted to do a psych evaluation, but her blood alcohol was so high they had to wait. And in the hospital, Chyna's quote, when asked about it from the hospital, she said, quote, all I really want right now is a hamburger and French fries right now.
She's very drunk.
Very drunk. That is an absolute, all I really want right now is a hamburger and French fries right now.
She said right now twice.
Right now she said twice, which is, she's drunk.
Now.
Right now. How fast do you want it? Right now?
Yeah, right now was one word.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Right now.
I want a hamburger right now. I want a hamburger and cheeseburgers right now.
Right now. French fries would be good. So 2009, as if that's not bad enough, embarrassing enough to come out. Another Night in Chyna comes out in 2009.
Oh, yeah.
And this is her and Sean Waltman again.
Wow.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on here. They say the synopsis is Chyna is back, and oh boy, is she horny. That's apparently so.
Oh boy.
This time she really gets down and dirty as she takes us even deeper into her hot and steamy sex life, watches her boyfriend comes out to the pool and sucks on her huge clit while she sunbathes. She takes him inside, giving him a sexy striptease and fucks him silly.
Yeah, I'll bet.
That's the synopsis. There's 4 scenes, all Chyna and X-Pac here, and it's 64 minutes long. So,
God damn,
that's something.
64 minutes, 48 of which he's in a wrestle.
No, that's later.
Really?
That's Backdoor to Chyna, which is coming up here.
Okay.
So that's the third in the trilogy. It's a trilogy, really. Wait till you see that. If she didn't pass away, there would have been a prequel trilogy like Star Wars. That's how they were going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. September 20th, 2010, Chyna hospitalized for medication overdose again.
This is the second time?
Second time here, yeah. She allegedly over-medicated herself with a sleeping aid.
Fuck.
She was suffering from alcohol poisoning when she was taken to UCLA Hospital, which is, you can't mix those together at that volume.
It's not good.
But these wrestlers, too, that's one thing, especially the 90s wrestlers, they were like, well, if one pill works, then you take 4, and that's better.
Yeah.
That was their whole, I've heard a million of those guys. Well, if 2 is good, then 10 is better, right? That's what they would say. Like, that was their whole attitude with painkillers, with anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, 2 somas, I'll take 12. That'll be even, okay.
If they work, then let's let them work.
Yeah. So a source now tells the website that she took as many as 5 times the suggested dosage of Benadryl to help her sleep.
Ooh,
and found herself throwing up and struggling to walk properly when she woke up.
Yeah.
They add that Chyna's been treated with fluids in the emergency room, and, she'll survive. Yeah. She'll get it. And, she was on Celebrity Rehab already, too.
Right,
this was on she was already did Celebrity
Dr.
Rehab.
Drew couldn't solve the problem?
Dr. Drew could not solve the problem, as with a lot of those people on that show. It's a pretty deep ingrained problem, and putting it on television probably doesn't make it better. Just off the top of my head. 2011, she is in a movie called Losing Control. And this is 4.2 stars out of 10 on IMDb. So
it's getting so much better. Her career is really growing.
She's yet to crack 5 on IMDb, though, for a movie she's in here.
She's headed that way.
Losing control, it says, unable to give her boyfriend a firm yes when he asked her to marry him, Sam sets off on a series of dating adventures to find empirical proof that Ben is the one. What? Oh. What a terrible fucking...
She needs spiritual guidance.
I'm not sure. I'm going to go whore around for a while.
What is this?
Try some other dicks out, and then when I'm done...
Or I'm gonna go to several temples and pray about it and find out if you're the one.
Imagine a guy being like that. Listen, sweetie, I'd love to marry you, but I'm going to go dip my shit in as much as I can, and I'll be back, and we'll see.
I got to see if your sleeve's the right one.
Got to see. So people in this movie, a couple people I kind of recognize, but nobody like extremely famous or anything like that. Okay. But she plays Barb.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. Yeah, why not?
That's a good casting.
2011 is Backdoor to Chyna.
Here we go.
Backdoor to Chyna. The synopsis, Chyna explores her sexuality by trying anal. Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Trying.
Giving it a look-see. And this has 7.4 rating, 7.4 stars out of 10 on IMDb. So you know what? She cracked. She did it.
She found the genre.
And she's the star. Other people in this, we have Chyna, obviously. Diana Prince.
Probably.
Dylan Ryder, which I assume is a common last name in the porn industry.
Right? It's got to be a gal, right?
Yeah. Dylan Ryder. Those look like the women. Then there is Mick Blue. It's a guy.
Yeah.
Billy Glide. He's not hiding anything.
Oh, my. He's really getting in there.
Before he leaves the house in the morning, he just lubes up just in case.
My name's Glide. For
Billy Glide. Evan Stone, whose face is horrifying. Look at this guy's face.
Very popular
okay. I was going to say, look at his face.
Incredibly popular.
He's a scary looking dude. And then there is Lee Stone. His picture, it looks like he just kidnapped somebody. Look at this fucking profile picture. It's him, no shirt, big tattoo, looking crazy, in a field with a van in the background.
He got the white van.
There's a white panel van. It looks like he just stuffed people into it, and then he's looking at the camera like, you didn't see that, did you? That's the craziest.
Hey, turn your head.
I've never seen a profile picture so crazy in my life. Especially for a porn star.
You call the cops, I'm coming back.
I'm coming back. Rape van out.
Yeah, I've seen that guy in porn too.
Jesus. So 2011, right around this time is when she does the You Shoot video. These shoot interviews are, truthful, out of character interviews in wrestling. Sure. And Sean Oliver, who the guy who runs kayfabe commentaries.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
Real good guy, and does a great job. If you like wrestling stuff, check out his stuff. He's got a YouTube channel where you can find a lot of these interviews. He posts them for free. Excellent shit here. Now, they did this. They had several different You Shoot styles that they did. There was, one where there was like a timeline where they go through a whole year and they would, give you their reflections and all sorts of different ones. You Shoot is one where they sit there and people send in questions over the internet to ask.
Live.
And it's a wild one too, because there's usually like sexual stuff, like they have the
so Reddit Ask Me Anything.
Yeah, well then they have certain games like the dick game, which is who's got when they have chicks, who's got the biggest dick in the business of people, and they'll have like different dicks and they'll put them on a chart. Dumb shit like that. But that's what You Shoot is. All the other ones are like they're not like salacious like that. All the other stuff they do, but You Shoot is kind of like the crazier one of because it's crowdsourced, so
because it's wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So
unprepared.
He wrote a book, Sean Oliver, that's very entertaining, by the way. Like I said, if you're interested in old school wrestlers' real personalities, definitely get this book here. It's called, I think, something about kayfabe. Look him up, Sean Oliver. I've read the book 100 times and don't remember the goddamn name of it. So,
have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them, or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a micro-city built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He said, earlier I made reference to You Shoot Chyna, which in our minds was set to be the wildest, most honest, rip-roaring edition of the show. It was going to be crazy.
Oh, boy.
He said Chyna was always outspoken and had burned a bridge or two, so we were sure she was coming to shoot. And that's these interviews, too. That's one thing. Like, a guy who, like, cares what people in the business think of him is not a good guy to do these interviews because,
because he's going to hold back.
This guy, what do you think of this guy? Oh, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. He might be able to help him. You want the people who are like, oh, fuck him. Let me tell you something about that asshole. That's entertaining. You know what I mean? So she does that. He said she dated some very high-profile wrestlers and appeared on MTV's celebrity reality show, The Surreal Life. Her struggles with addiction landed her on VH1's Celebrity Rehab. She was a big name with lots of crossover. This would be huge. And, it's a crossover thing. They said she'd also just signed with Vivid Video to perform in their high-profile adult films. This was set to be wild. So much so, I actually called a meeting with his business partners and said that I thought this would raise the bar of debauchery so much, I didn't think I'd be able to host this show and even this series any longer. Sean's a real, like chill guy. Like, everyone, he's got a suit and tie on, and, like, he's kind of buttoned up, like, and he's funny and shit, but I mean, he's not like
this is going to ruin.
He's not a dirty, filthy guy. That's just, it would come off weird if he was doing dirty, filthy shit. Because even when he's like, the dicks, he's always like, you know what I mean? Like, compare the dicks. Like, I know this is stupid, but you got to do it. That's what they want.
Throw one at me.
Throw one at me. He's much better asking like, more fucking deeper questions. So. Okay. He said, I wanted to step down from You Shoot and let someone do this who would be better suited, someone with a wild and unhinged image. It wasn't me in a fucking tie. True. He says
Jim Cornette?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, get him. That's what I mean. Get somebody like that. They convinced me to do the show and just see how it went. Okay. Chyna was all over the press on TMZ, on all the entertainment shows, so there was no way this would turn out to be bad. Even if I was a fly in the ointment during the show, she's going to say, she's going to say crazy enough shit. So he's like, well, he's the only guy that was on camera at that point for the company. After that, they had Jim Cornette host a series about the territories, which was really good, actually, interviewing people, going real in-depth about the old school territories. But this is, otherwise, he's the guy who does the interviews. So if you put somebody else out there, it's not kayfabe commentaries, you know what I mean? Sure. Like, he does it in a way that doesn't make you feel like a jerk-off when you're watching it. You know what I mean? So that's the best compliment I can give him. So they said that I could decide after this. I thought about it hard and then reluctantly agreed. Joanie, Chyna's real name, was flying in from Los Angeles, which is a significant flight. He's an East Coast guy. This was in New Jersey or something. She was also delayed on the tarmac for quite a while. We got word she'd be late. We were used to that. That shit happens all the time. If you read the book, there's always like, so we started recording at 3:30 in the morning and, like shit like that.
Because these people are incredibly unpredictable.
Yeah, and they're always coming in from somewhere. There's like a wrestling convention where they're going to do like 10 interviews over a weekend, and they have them lined up, but the guys are at the bar getting drunk before their shoot, so like they'll pass out or something.
And their life is wild in the first
place.
And
they're fucking old school pro wrestlers, so they're, even if they're not wrestling anymore, they're still nuts. They didn't just get a job selling insurance and start getting buttoned down. They're crazy still. Right. So he says, besides Chyna arrived at last shortly after midnight. The glamorous star of XXX film walked into our shoot wearing a baseball cap, hoodie over her head, and carrying a dog.
Oh, boy.
Not exactly what they were expecting from this.
Dressed like Eminem with a dog.
With a dog. She's dressed like she's going like out in Central Park at fucking 7 in the morning or something like that.
And hiding from the paparazzi.
She was exhausted. Hey, let's roll those cameras, boys. He's like, this is going to be great.
Oh, boy.
The show sat still like a languid water buffalo, he says. Joanie wasn't uncooperative or an asshole or anything. There was just nothing interesting in her stories or her outlook. When an interview is going like that, I have to try to crowbar some shit in there to get reactions or stories. I'm telling you, nothing worked. I hope she fucked better than she interviewed, or else Vivid Video had made the same mistake I did. She had just signed the Vivid deal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to give it in an interview.
Yeah.
These interviews, you got to bring it, or else why is someone going to pay you for this? No one wants to watch that.
What's the point of being here?
Yeah.
We're just going to be like, so I wrestled once.
Yeah, I mean, he was okay, but I've watched the fucking shoot. Chyna's boring. She's fucking boring.
Yeah.
She just doesn't have a lot of. She doesn't have.
Unless you got to be a good interview that leads her around.
Yeah,
and
he is
Larry
too.
King
That's the fucked up part.
That.
Yeah. Sean's really good at getting people who aren't narrative speakers to speak. He's very good at it, but that's
the only way you can get her to be a great interviewer.
There's some people where you no matter what you do, they're not giving it back. It's just the energy was just low energy, and it's really hard to do anything about that.
And not implying anything, but her past doesn't lean to that something helping her be subdued.
Exactly.
That's not good.
Yeah. He goes on to say, Sean Oliver goes on to say, I thought the whole Vivid thing was tragic. I sat across from Joanie as she talked on You Shoot of loneliness and suicide attempts, and then talked about her deal to do pornos as a lifesaver. This was like, finally, now I'm good.
Saver.
Yeah.
Oh,
that industry is loaded with tales of lonely souls who turn there for love and are used up and left emptier than before. When I heard her positioning this as, quote, the answer, I knew trouble was coming. She was inspired to change her life for sure. She didn't find it in God. She didn't find it in a child's love. She found it in porn.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, that sucks so much.
That's so shitty. Now, at some point here, she ends up in Japan teaching English at some point also.
Okay.
And there are rumors that she changed into a Mormon while over there also, which is very funny because I'm sure she's had a Mormon knock on a door a couple of times. She had to go all the way to Japan for it.
That's the longest flight ever to convert to Mormon.
That's what I mean. I don't know how true that is. She could have just drove a couple of states over and been fine. So 2012, starts her Vivid shit here, like a good Mormon girl. She does Avengers XXX, a porn parody.
Really?
Yes, Avengers
she Groot?
XXX. This almost cracked 4.6 stars, almost.
Okay.
Almost. This is a XXX parody based on the Avengers. Who is in this? Dale DeBone. That's a great porn name. Dale DeBone. He plays Iron Man / Tony Stark. Glendon Crane plays Thor.
Yeah, Bell and Biv didn't get in.
Chyna plays She-Hulk.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay, not bad.
Makes sense. You got Spider-Man in here. You got Bruce Banner, Spider-Woman. Yeah. There's a regular Hulk. All sorts of people in here. 2012, Chyna is Queen of the Ring. This is a porn, by the way. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
This is a porn. 6.6 stars out of 10, by the way.
Not bad.
Doing well. The synopsis here, an hour and 43 minutes, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Chyna takes on the biggest names of pro wrestling in a gangbang battle royal match. What the fuck is that, man?
It's just dudes probably getting
wow
pun names that
oh my
Vince named
God.
Dildos after.
Dude, this one they're playing wrestlers. Real wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Chyna plays Chyna, the wrestler.
Oh.
A porn lady named Lisa Ann plays Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, Lisa Ann got good for her.
Good. That's a great role for you, Lee. Good job. Valerie Kay plays a ring announcer. Ron Jeremy is Ron Jeremy. He can't play anybody else.
Yeah.
Alex Sanders plays Ric Flair. If you would have asked Ric Flair, he'd take his dick out for $500 probably. You could have got him to do it.
Unbelievable.
Anthony Hardwood, another very good.
Not bad.
He plays Triple H.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Cyrus King plays Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Evan Stone plays the Hulkster here. Hulk Hogan.
Back again.
He seems to have
These
a
are all Vivid stars.
little too much hair for it to play the Hulkster, I would say. We have Justin Magnum playing Bret Hart. Lee Stone, that's the guy with the rape van behind him.
Yeah, he's back again.
He plays Vince McMahon, which is appropriate with the van behind him and everything. This is amazing. Marco Banderas, Antonio's long-lost brother, I'm sure.
His failed brother.
He plays the Iron Sheik.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. Ralph Long plays Doink the Clown. Sledgehammer, played by The Rock.
Yeah.
T.J. Cummings as John Cena.
Oh.
Tommy Pistol as Mean Gene Okerlund. If Mean Gene comes in here and starts pounding her, that's a little weird. And there is a commentator commenting over the whole thing like it's a wrestling, like it's a battle royale. Up, he's in her pussy now. Whoa, this is fucking crazy. Okay, here is July 2012. This is from a Bleacher Report article. Yeah. And it says, when Natasha Barden arrived at Joanie Laurer's studio apartment in July 2012, she found a man named Steven hiding in the kitchen. Okay. Laurer told Barden she'd met the drifter when he called out to Laurer as she jogged along the beach a few months earlier. Right. What? So you pick up drifters who catcall you while you jog?
Evidently, that's how this works.
Wow. I didn't think that ever worked. Has that ever worked? This might be the first time catcalling worked. Ever.
I thought it got you arrested.
Or at least looked at like an asshole, Twitter. Like, you fucking dirtbag. She was like, turned her jog around and was like, what's that?
Who said that?
Wow.
Come here.
Broke and homeless, Steven told Laurer he had followed her career and that she'd been an inspiration. Laurer offered him a place to stay, and now the two were in love. Okay, Joanie.
What?
Joanie.
What is going on?
Jonathy, we got to talk. This is, you can't pick up drifters from the beach.
No.
Who don't have homes that just liked your...
No.
How many people that you passed would go, I liked your career? Tons of them. You don't invite them all to move in. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's bad.
Her friend Barden says he buttered her up and she fell for it. Wow. Yeah. A longtime friend, Barden had traveled to Redondo Beach from Honolulu that July afternoon, sensing trouble. Laurer liked to chat on Facebook and through text messages, but by early 2012, her replies had grown slower, more cryptic, only saying that she was miserable and stuck. Arriving unannounced with her infant daughter, as everyone loves to have,
right? Sure.
A drop-in with your fucking child, too. Barden walked into a 600-square-foot apartment with no furniture. That's where Chyna lives. Good God.
No furniture.
A blow-up mattress without sheets sat in the middle of the living room, and dirty clothes were strewn across the floor. The stench of whiskey was noticeable as soon as Laurer opened her door.
Oh, no.
Eyelids heavy, face drooped, a bottle of Jack Daniels in her right hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
On her sweater.
Oh, yeah.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. What the
fuck?
This is a mess, dude. Jesus
That's
Christ.
a fun morning.
She's like the singer from Leonard Skinner or some shit. That's how he would wake up, I feel like. The friend said she was chugging it like it was Gatorade.
Oh, wow.
She was beyond drunk. I started crying because I couldn't believe the Chyna I knew, the Chyna I idolized, was living like that. I was scared to even let her hold her goddaughter. Let me hold her. No.
Yeah.
Barden,
you're going to fall down.
Barden walked into the kitchen and found Steven pressed against a wall, hoping to go unnoticed. Shirtless and disheveled, he introduced himself as Laurer's boyfriend and then fished her debit card out of her purse, telling Barden he was going to go, quote, pick up Chyna's medicine. Yeah. He finally returned at 7 a.m. the next day with 2 more bottles of Jack and a wad of 20s from the ATM.
Yeah.
He sounds like a keeper. You don't want to let him go. He's a prize, this guy. Wow. Later, Laurer later confided to Barden that Steven had asked her to marry him. When she declined, he got a tattoo of a wedding band inked around his left finger, emblazoned with one word, Chyna. Wow. Laurer and her new boyfriend shared an email address. Oh, my God. What
they had the same email.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
She told Barden that Steven had cut chunks of her long black hair and that he'd also persuaded her to cash in a 401k of about $140,000, and she only had $20,000 left.
What a fun guy.
Wow. She's got 20 grand left. That's what she's got left in her life. Yeah. And she's got wow. The friend says he was controlling her. He was using her for money and keeping her intoxicated so she wouldn't know the difference. Yeah. She said she'd seen enough. Quote, you're coming to Hawaii with me, and the only answer I'll accept is yes. So the following afternoon, Laurer boarded a plane to Honolulu. needing only 2 duffel bags to carry all of her belongings.
Everything she owns. God damn it.
She spent Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas with Barden and her family. She stopped taking Valium and Ambien and only drank in moderation. Then, before New Year's Eve, Stephen reached Laurer by phone. Wow. Barden said, in an instant, she went from a beautiful person who is loving life to fuck it, I just want to drink. Yeah. I feel like, and this goes for a lot of people, sometimes relationships just aren't for people.
No.
And that goes for men, women, everybody. And I feel like she, well, I mean, maybe it'd be for her if she picked somebody who was not a piece of shit.
Yeah, not contributing.
Yeah. Like if Triple H didn't decide he wanted to be with Stephanie McMahon, that was decent for her.
That would work out.
That she seemed, well,
it's a solid guy that has that's not going to push substances on her that's going to ruin her.
She seems to mirror the behavior of whoever she's with. So if she's with the scumbag, she's going to do it too. She does meth with Sean Waltman. She drinks bottles of Jack Daniels with this scumbag. With Triple H, clean as a fucking whistle because he didn't do anything. So she seems to mirror whatever her love interest does, which is weird. Laurer continued expressing anger toward the WWE, particularly because the company had yet to induct her into its Hall of Fame. Barden reminded her that when she walked into a store, people screamed her name, and that should be enough, her friend said. And for Laurer, though, it wasn't. Like, isn't that enough recognition? Yeah. Being in the Hall of Fame isn't going to help you, like, make a living or anything. People recognize you.
That just gives you some sort of cred. Legitimizes your work. I don't know.
And they always, with the Hall of Fame comes a quote legends deal, which you're signed for. You have to do like their appearances at their events, and it's a salary. They give you a couple of bucks and keep you from fucking living in a 600 square foot apartment, probably.
Slugging Jack Daniels at 7 a.m.
Exactly. Yeah, you probably can't do that. She told Barden she was ready to take control of her life. She wanted to start over, she said, and to do so, she needed to move as far away as possible. I mean, Hawaii is pretty far.
It's the furthest you
It's
can go.
quite a swim. You know what I'm saying? It takes a while to get there. So Laurer chose Japan. That's how she ended up being a Mormon and teaching English. She'd wrestled there briefly after leaving the WWE and loved the culture and lifestyle. In Japan, she told Barden she'd be all alone, free from the drugs and booze, free from the abusive boyfriends, and free from the social media hounds and gossip rags. By moving to Japan, Laurer wouldn't be running from her problems. She'd be confronting them, or at least that was her plan. But we'll see. Another movie comes out here, 2012, Adult Insider 3. It's only 27 minutes long.
Adult Inside Her? Or
no, Insider. I think this is just an interview because it's all of them, all of the girls in it here, Allie Hayes, Brie Olson, Chyna, Jesse Andrews, and Stoya it all says non-sex under them. So I think this is just like a porn discussion.
Who the fuck
Who would watch that?
Who wants to listen to Brie Olson talk?
I don't even know who she is, but I don't.
She was the porn star that that was rocked up with Charlie Sheen when he was
right. Oh, that's who she is. Okay, now I know.
She's a problem.
That was right around this time too.
Yeah,
2012. She had a little name going for herself here. 2012. She is in a film called Night at the Silent Movie Theater, which is not a porn. No, absolutely not.
It's her watching Mystery Science 3000 Charlie Chaplin movie.
I think it is. It's a raucous comedy of errors about a singer stuck in a dead-end job who sees his last best shot at rock stardom threatened by freak accidents, movie theater politics, stressed-out relationship, and a janitor who is much more than he seems. And it's got 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow. She is so close to 10. She's doing great.
That is not bad. I'm looking.
His career's killing it.
A lot of these actors, like I've heard their names, but I don't know what they've been in. And, she plays a sexy drummer.
Yeah, I mean.
Why not?
Sure.
I've heard something about that, too. She was there was some story somebody told about her on this set, actually, that I remember, because she was a drummer on the set. And I was like, that's weird. But I don't remember what the story was, but there was some goddamn story. In 2013 here, this article talks about Yohei Sato, an independent crude oil trader, our old jobs, Jimmie, who was once Laurer's business manager, was with Laurer on the flight to Tokyo in January 2013. He says she reeked of alcohol and was heavily intoxicated when she boarded the plane and was almost removed from the aircraft.
Wow.
A few weeks later, Sato says Laurer called him at 10 a.m. and asked him to come to her apartment. When Sato arrived, the door was ajar and Laurer was in the living room in a pool of red.
Oh, boy.
She had sliced deep wounds into her forearm, forcing Sato to rush her into the hospital, both of their clothes covered in blood.
Oh, my God.
You can't run from problems, is what that says.
No.
You can go there, and for a minute when you get there, it'll feel good. But then after a week and after all your adrenaline settles, you're still with you.
Oh, boy.
You still got the same problems. That's horrible, man. Sato says doctors in Tokyo prescribed everything from Xanax to lithium to Ritalin to stabilize her moods, but she regularly ingested more than the prescribed dose.
Wow.
As that's just how wrestlers do pills. Yeah. She said it was obvious she had a mental illness, Sato says, and the drugs only made it worse because they made her hallucinate. She'd call me and say the LAPD was outside her apartment with her ex-boyfriend. I'd say, Chyna, we're in Japan. Yeah. The LAPD really has no jurisdiction here.
Ooh, shit.
For sure.
Yeah.
Police arrested Chyna at 2:49 a.m. one day.
Yeah.
After she climbed to the top of a pole outside her residence. To the top of a pole. Imagine what that crazy shit looked like.
King Kong.
Wow. And screamed loud enough to wake the neighbors.
Wow.
When Sato went to pick her up from jail, he says Laurer was telling the Japanese officer she was a famous wrestler and that the WWE had cheated her out of money and that she was one of the biggest reasons for the company's success. He says she wanted to make sure everyone knew she'd been a star. Because that's really all she's ever had.
I guess.
That's what's tough. If that's all you've ever had, you don't know. Yeah. About a month later, Sato says 12 police cars responded to a call about a woman walking through the streets of Tokyo with blood streaming from her arms and legs. Now, she could be not bleeding at all, and she's a spectacle in Japan. She is.
You bet. Yeah.
She is taller than the average man over there.
Yeah.
And she's fucking jacked. There aren't a lot of women who look like her in Japan at all. Yeah. I mean, if I walk around Japan, people are like, holy shit, look at the size of that guy. She's a big jacked up chick. Like, that is a different thing completely. So you're going to get attention. This is crazy. As a crowd gathered nearby, Laurer swung a knife at officers as they approached.
In a foreign country.
Forcing, but over there they don't shoot you. It's not like here. Yeah, over there they're actually, they try not to kill the citizens. As a crowd gathered nearby, he said Laurer swung a knife at officers as they approached, forcing them to gang tackle her and hold her against the concrete wall until she was handcuffed. Gee, that's funny. Didn't have to pump 46 bullets in her either. That's wild.
No. It's also how a lot of porns begin.
That's what I was just going to say. And then the cameras showed up.
Yeah.
Laurer was admitted to a Tokyo Metropolitan Matsuzawa Hospital, a facility specializing in mental health. She would spend the next month locked up in a confined room, quote unquote.
That's not good.
That is terrible. Word of the episode spread locally, costing Laurer her part-time job teaching English. Mm-hmm. She landed similar work at a corporate education center, Sato says, only to be fired when a human resource... Oh, my God. When a human resources manager walked into a class and witnessed Laurer teaching students how to kiss.
Oh, boy.
At a corporate education. I don't know if that's children or if that's like, imagine you go to corporate training and they're like, let me show you how to French kiss the person in the next cubicle. Come over here. Stick your tongue down her throat. There you go.
This is team building.
Wow. I want Larry King to interview her about this. Sato says she showed up to work intoxicated. I kept asking her, why are you doing this, Chyna? Why?
Yeah.
But it's not all negative here. Sure, she's tried to kill herself multiple times, took a fucking swipe at Japanese police officers with a fucking knife. I mean, sure, she's done this and that, and, she's in these bad movies, and she's got a drifter boyfriend she picks up off the beach and all that, but she's also a winner, Jimmie.
Oh, boy.
2013 AVN Awards.
Oh, really?
That's right. The adult video, I guess.
News.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. She is a nominee for most outrageous sex scene in Chyna is Queen of the Ring. I would say that sounded pretty outrageous from what we said.
Yeah.
She's a nominee for that, but she wins Best Celebrity Sex Tape with Backdoor to Chyna.
Really?
Isn't that so nice of her?
That's wonderful.
Great. That is great. Well, you know what? At least anal pays off in some way, shape, or form.
It
That's
does,
nice.
yeah,
That's good for her. That's very good for her, I would say. So, she, I mean, I don't even know what do you celebrate this if you're at this place in your life where she is? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I feel like she just goes back to her apartment and sits there and hallucinates a different police department. It's Miami this time.
Yeah.
Philadelphia police is outside the SWAT teams there. It's crazy, but she could use some advice, I would say, from a friend, from somebody. Anybody. And you know who's there for her?
Who's that?
While she's at her apartment. It's my grandma. That's right.
Oh, boy.
She shows up and knocking at the door, and she says... Ma, how is it you come to arrive here? Ma, why? Ma, why? Ma, why you do the tape where they put... Ma, come on. Ma, the back door? Ma, what's wrong with the front door? Like a nice, respectable girl you be. Ma, you put on. This is no good. Ma, why you do that? You're such a... Ma, you beautiful girl. Why you don't have to do that. Ma, why you do that? Ma, you sell yourself so short when you do that. Ma, kikats, why you do that? Ma, the best celebrity... What, back door? Please. Ma, eat. Ma, sit down. Eat, please.
It's very impressive.
Ma, put the bottle down and we eat. Okay, come on. You sit down. And then poof, in a cloud of of marinara sauce and I would say earth because she's dead. Grandma is gone.
Yeah.
So there you go. Chyna's very confused now. That's a hallucination she did not expect. Somebody else's grandma talking to her. So 2013, she's in She-Hulk XXX.
Oh, that's great.
That's nice. An Axel Braun parody. And that's 6 stars out of 10 on IMDb. It's very sad that her highest rated IMDb films are porn. But I do like that people give them a nice rating here. This stars Chyna, Gracie Glam, Alexis Ford, which doesn't really sound that porny, Jennifer Dark. Okay. You got tattoos and shit probably. Yeah, look at me. Eric Masterson, Tara Lynn Fox with 2 X's, of course.
Yeah, obviously. I'm surprised somebody hasn't done a Jamie Foxx parody.
You would imagine. Yeah, you could with 3 X's. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. You got it. Another good porn name here, Ryan Driller. That's good.
Right on the nose.
Right on the nose. Speaking of on the nose, Mark Wood. That is fucking bullseye. Alec Knight and Alan Stafford are in this.
It's a lot of dudes.
Not bad. And also Richie Calhoun and Shyler Kobe. There's like 4 or 5. Oh, no, the first 6 are women. So okay, that makes sense. 2013, Adult Insider 11.
Okay.
Which must be an interview show because everyone on here, no sex.
Fucking 11.
11. Adriana Luna, Alexis Ford, Allie Hayes, Ash Hollywood, Bonnie Rotten. Okay. Brian Street Team. Chanel Preston, Chris Cock, Christian XXX, Chyna, Danny Mountain, Eric Masterson, Gracie Glam, James Dean, Jaden James, Jennifer Dark, John Stagliano, Christina Rose, Lexi Swallow, again, on the nose, and Lola Fox, XX. So that's what she's in there. Next up, she is in White Tea, a movie. This is a non-porn, so it's 3.7 stars out of 10 on IMDb. Yeah. There you go. It's an hour 34 minutes.
It's a bad movie.
It's the cover is 2 enormous young black gentlemen here. I mean, absolutely.
Wow, not
500 pounds each.
Is that Wheezy from fucking Old School, the big fat black kid?
I couldn't tell from here. We'll find out.
Yeah,
it looks like it. So the description here. Okay, Herbert and Henry. Jared and Jamal Mixon. So are those the twins from that, or the brothers from that?
I guess.
Are twin brothers who dream of becoming the biggest rap stars in the game. Their chance at superstardom comes after they buy a T-shirt with a winning golden tag that allows them to perform Real Deal, perform for Real Deal, the most legendary rapper in the world. However, Kevin, a Jewish kid their same size with dreams of singing and blinging, manages to steal their prized white tee and has his own plans to perform at the concert. With help from a gypsy, a goat, and a cast of characters as big as Herbert and Henry's appetites, White Tea is a feel-good urban adventure reminiscent of Dude, Where's My Car? And Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You like all those movies?
And Seven.
And you'll hate this. It has, Jesus Christ, we got the Mixons there.
That is Wheezy from old school.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Tweezy.
Eric Roberts is in this.
Yeah?
Yeah, which is wild.
He'll take anything.
But he's like an accomplished, he's a good
surreal,
actor.
yeah.
Deion Sanders is in this.
Yeah, he'll
take whatever. Faison Love, of course, he's in everything.
Yep.
Tony Cox, he's a little guy. I think he's the Bad Santa one.
Okay.
Little guy there.
Oh, the guy. Okay, the guy from.
How many black
Me,
midgets
Myself,
get
and
work in
Irene.
movies?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's one of. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the one.
We'll get him. We'll get the little elf.
Tone Loc, of course. Who else we got here? Chyna plays a psychic. There you go.
This is essentially Fat Boys. Remember them?
Fucking Disorderlies.
They were great.
Yeah, Disorderlies.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Disorderlies was amazing. What a movie!
Just added to HBO Max, by the way.
Stop it! I'm fucking watching it.
Just added. I saw it on the Just Added last night.
Love the.
I was like, holy shit, Disorderlies. Yeah.
Wow.
Just came up. That's fucking hilarious.
Unbelievable. That shit was so rad. I loved
them when I was a kid. Yeah.
That's basically what this is trying to do. It's just exploiting three fat guys.
That's fat guys.
It's the clumps where you don't have to put them in fat suits.
Yeah,
and it's great.
They're already fat for us. They're already all good and fat for us.
When they're eating sprouts and he's like, he's just eating a shitload of them.
Tons and tons.
Just pushing so much food. He's like, what is that, sprouts? It makes it healthy. All right. Okay.
Oh, God. So Sato, the Japanese guy there, tried to help Laurer in 2014 by introducing her to members of the Mormon Church. That's how this happened.
Yeah.
She was baptized on April 6th of that year and joined a women's service organization. They said, still unable to find steady work and with few friends, Joanie never achieved inner peace that she sought in Japan. Alcohol and drugs and all that kind of, she never got over everything, her mental issues. She's the type of person where it's like you needed to deal with her mental problems that she had from before anything, before fame or anything else. And then go from there. And it's like, we got to do like triage of like, okay, well, first of all, she's a hardcore alcoholic. Let's deal with that first right now. And
yeah, save her life and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they said that cradling her Chihuahua Horn each night in her tiny apartment, Laurer documented her feelings in short videos on her flip phone. One of them, it's dark and it's cold and I just want to get out of here. How am I going to get out of here? Yeah. That's depressing, man. It's hard. If you're a human being, you got to feel bad for her because she doesn't hurt other people.
No.
She's not a person who hurts other people generally. No. I mean, she did punch Sean Waltman or whatever, but that relationship was crazy. I don't know. She doesn't go out and hurt strangers. Everything is inward. Yeah. I'll cut myself. I'll take pills. I'll ruin myself. That's how she does this. So there's no way to not feel bad for her. She's not like, oh, well, you're a scumbag. You're out there raping people. What do you want? That's not her. You know what I mean? So got to kind of feel bad for her, I'll say, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Joanie Laurer, who is unemployed. Why are you on LinkedIn? I guess to get a job.
Yeah. What do you? I guess you're looking for work
in Donegal, Ireland. Here, and of course, there is. This is interesting. From 2004, from a Cleveland Plain Dealer article, alcohol killed baby who died in October. Police are trying to find out who gave alcohol to Chyna Reese and spelled C-Y or C-H-Y-N-A. They named this baby after her.
Had to.
They absolutely did. Her death was ruled a homicide last week, so I definitely feel worse for this Chyna because she's a murdered baby.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I guess somebody gave her booze. And Chyna C a beauty therapist.
Oh, my God.
London College of Beauty Therapy in London, England. She does threading, gel manicure and pedicure, gel extension, standard polish, manicure, pedicure, piercing, waxing, tinting, makeup, and facials.
Everything.
She'll do it all, baby. Okay, 2015. An email marked urgent arrives in Dr. Drew's mailbox on November 8th, 2015 at 7:08. Any urgent thing to Dr. Drew is probably bad. And it's
Dr. Drew. It's
going to be bad.
A problem. Yeah.
And it read, I have a very serious issue regarding our old friend Chyna. If she doesn't get help ASAP, she will die. The pills, the booze, it's bad. Okay. The message to Pinsky, who had counseled Laurer when she appeared on his reality celebrity show in 2008, was written by Anthony Anzaldo, the former manager Laurer had contacted the previous June when she was ready to leave Japan. Anzaldo had spent the last 5 months chronicling Laurer's life on film for a documentary called The Reconstruction of Chyna, the footage for which had been begun immediately after she stepped off the plane. Does anyone remember who I am? Laurer said as the two left New York's JFK airport, a backpack, her only piece of luggage. Show me that people still care. This is all she needs. Wants love. All she ever wants is love. Yeah. From people, from the audience. You can't.
Somebody care about me.
You can't get into showbiz because you need love. That is, you're never going to be happy.
Oh boy, are you going to be sadly
never going to be happy,
heartbroken.
You can't fix yourself from that. From people admiring you, and she's looking for that as a thing, and that is not. You got to do this because you're using it to support your family. That's the only reason for it. Show me people still care. And Zaldo drove Laurer into Manhattan, where she was mobbed by autograph seekers as she passed through Times Square. Yeah, she's recognizable as fuck.
Very, very much so.
A few days later, fans at the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska chanted her name, Chyna, Chyna, as she took her seat behind the first base dugout. People recognize her. While Laurer arrived at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas for a celebrity poker tournament to raise money for cystic fibrosis, one of the benefactors, a young man confined to a scooter, was so moved by her presence that he burst into tears. And Zaldo said she needed that feeling of acceptance again. She hasn't set foot in a ring in 15 years, and she was more famous than ever. And the timing of that, here's the thing, too, that really sucks for her. The last, 5 years have been a monstrous boom in the old wrestler careers because there's been so many more conventions, and they get invited to all the Comic-Cons. Yeah. These guys have been able to kind of make a good supplemental living off of this now, and she missed that because this was just the beginning of the cusp of that. Hey, remember 15 years ago how great that was? This is just when that started. So, as happy as they were to see her back in the United States, Laura's friends, former colleagues, worried that she may be embarking on too much too quickly. They feared she'd be overwhelmed by the documentary, the constant travel for signings, and the campaign for the WWE Hall of Fame. Blaze, remember her first boyfriend, the workout guy?
Yeah.
Blaze or whatever, who reconnected with Laurer, says she was, quote, trying to find the magic again. Mick Foley sensed it, too, as they ate dinner and watched WWE pay-per-view at his home in Long Island, New York. Well, that's nice. Mick invited her over. Yeah. It's definitely something a lot of wrestlers encounter once their career is over, he says. It's an identity issue. You don't know what to do next. You try to find ways to make an impact in other areas the same way you did in the ring, but it's difficult. It's an incredible feeling that you can't replace. Starting with an interview on the Opie and Anthony radio show just days after her return from Japan. That must have been, I'm sure, very highbrow.
Incredibly welcoming.
Not at all about how much she can fit in her asshole. Laurer began lashing out at the WWE to anyone who would listen, spreading the narrative once again that the company had released her back in 2001. A few weeks later, with Anzaldo's camera rolling, Laurie showed up at the organization's corporate office in Stamford, Connecticut to inquire about money she felt it owed her. They didn't make it past the receptionist's desk before security guards escorted them out. There were times when we thought she had put it past her, but she kept reverting back to it. She blamed the WWE for a lot of stuff. This is the thing. If it's 15 years ago, by now it doesn't even fucking matter anymore.
Yeah,
that might be true, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's During stretches of sobriety, she routinely left flowers on her landlord's doorstep, and she loved interacting with her followers on social media. When a fan at an autograph show noticed the scars on her arms and revealed that he, too, was a cutter, Laurer gave him her phone number, encouraging him to call if he ever needed to talk. I wouldn't be surprised if a month later she was living on her couch. At the August 2015 funeral for Rowdy Roddy Piper, Laurer came face-to-face with Triple H for the first time since her departure from WWE. Earlier in the year, on a podcast, Levesque had suggested that Laurer's appearances in porn films may keep her out of the Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah, because there was a real high degree of moral... Are you joking?
The moral code that they adhere to.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Stop it.
Isn't Shawn Michaels in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He has admitted on film 20 different times about how they used to give fucking drug women in bars and then drag them back to their hotels and rape them. What are you talking about? He'd give them halcyons, they'd say, and then shave their fucking heads after they fuck them and dump them in the hallway naked. But, she took it in the ass, so,
Right, so she's a problem.
What about X-Pac? Does that keep him out?
It seems so, yeah.
I would hope so. Anyway, Laurer still wrapped her arms around her ex-boyfriend and hugged him tightly. "I'm sorry all of this has happened," she whispered. Laurer recommitted herself to fitness, drinking smoothies and protein shakes multiple times a day while stocking her pantry with vitamins. Muscle toning classes at Cardio Bar and stretching sessions at Hot Yoga became regular staples. As cameras rolled for E's plastic surgery reality show Botched, Laurer had scars on her breast and her waist removed for good. "I have all of these appearances coming up," her yoga instructor, Kimberly Shrednick, remembers Laurer saying. I know I can't look exactly like I did, but I still want to look like me. I still want to look like Chyna." Yet, as motivated as Laurer often appeared, her life continued to resemble a ladder match for the WWE title belt. Each time she neared the top of the steps and reached for the reward dangling above, her addictions to fame, drugs, to darkness set Chyna tumbling back down. Anzaldo said, quote, "She was a binger. She'd go months without touching drugs and alcohol, then go crazy on it for 9 or 10 days. It was one or extreme or the other."
Golly.
That's a lot of people have that. That's tough, man. Yeah. It wasn't uncommon for Laurer to take multiple doses of Valium and Ambien each day, often chasing them with a $9 bottle of wine called Barefoot Bubbly.
Oh, boy.
Jesus. Yikes. Headache medicine. Well, I guess that's why you're taking all the other shit. Even though he hadn't seen Laurer in more than a decade, Waltman continued to hear stories of her drunken episodes from friends. He said he contacted the WWE and the company agreed to provide funding for Laurer to enter a rehabilitation facility, but Laurer, through intermediaries, refused help, Waltman said. The email from her manager to Pinsky came after Laurer was found unconscious in front of her apartment in November of 2015, resulting in her arrest for public intoxication.
Yeah.
Laurer, who had nearly $20,000 in her purse from an autograph signing the previous weekend, just carrying it around with her.
Passed out in public.
Well, fuck, man. Told police.
Who's robbing her, though?
You're going to go, if she wakes up, I am fucked. Yeah. I'm in a lot of trouble here.
You got to be robbing her like like in a cartoon. You got to make sure that she's still snoring. Don't make any noise.
Get a feather going. You got to get a string from the ceiling and come and take it that way. Wow. She told police she'd been unable to find her keys.
Mm-hmm.
This March,
she slept right here.
So just said I'm tired.
Yeah.
This March, Anzaldo says Canadian border agents in Windsor, Ontario, ordered him and Laurer out of his car when she was noticeably inebriated as the two attempted to cross into the country from Detroit. Back home, members of Laurer's social media team routinely removed drunken rants from YouTube and Twitter. She just posts shit.
Boy.
Her sister says, "I checked the internet every day just to see if Joanie was alive." Anzaldo had, Jesus, that is brutal. Anzaldo had spent many months trying to convince Laurer to rekindle her relationship with her mother, Janet, who lives in Hendersonville, North Carolina. The two had already been emailing, and they eventually agreed to meet in Charlotte while Laurer was in town for an autograph show in March. But just before they were scheduled to reunite, Anzaldo said Laurer became intoxicated and sent Janet, her mother, a long, offensive email spewing, her manager called it. Just all the shit. This is what you did to me.
Unloading everything.
She gets fucked up, and then she has vitriol at the things she believes caused this, and she lashes out at them.
Sure.
Man, rattled by the message, Janet called Anzaldo on a Friday afternoon and backed out of the meeting. Laurer was irate. She tipped a maid to sneak bottles of wine into her room at the Sheraton and spent the night drinking in the hotel, causing her to be an hour late for her signing the next day. Anzaldo passed her Altoids under the autograph table, hoping to mask her condition from fans.
Fix your breath.
Yep.
Yeah.
Laurer refused to speak to him that Saturday, and they sat apart on the flight home to Los Angeles the following morning. 5 days later, Laurer no-showed an autograph signing in Dallas before WrestleMania 32, which is those are the huge ones, those ones right around there. A decision Anzaldo says cost her $25,000, which she could use. Yeah. Laurer claimed she backed out because Vince McMahon and Sean Waltman planned to have her arrested as soon as she walked off the runway at DFW. I don't know what for.
For what?
I don't know that Sean Waltman, who, by the way, has had plenty of his own legal problems.
Yeah, and I don't
think Vince cares.
McMahon has much pull in Dallas.
He probably might, but not on WrestleMania weekend. He's busy.
Yeah, who
That's a busy weekend for them. That's the busiest weekend. Wow. On the morning of Sunday, April 17th, in what would mark her final form of communication, Laurer posted a 13-minute, 6-second video on YouTube that has been viewed over 2 million times.
Wow.
And it's a mess. A feather dangling from her hair, Laurer guzzled an orange energy drink, a glass of water, and a spinach smoothie.
Three things, just pushing it in her body.
Wow. She rambled about a health food delivery business she hoped to start, and then stepped onto her balcony where she complained about the whistles and catcalls she often heard from construction workers. Then she said, "I'm just kidding. I love it."
Okay.
Laurer gazed toward the beach across the street where surfers rode waves on the ocean and said, quote, it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day out there. How lucky am I? So, unbeknownst to her, her friends had planned to confront her that week about her substance abuse on a TV show called Intervention.
Oh, they're doing that?
Yes.
Taking her on Intervention?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
But when a cameraman called her on Monday, she didn't answer the phone. Voicemails and texts the next day weren't returned, and there were no posts from her social media, her at Chyna Joanie Laurer. Concerned, Anzaldo drove to Laurer's apartment on Avenue B and Esplanade around 3:30 p.m. that Wednesday, sneaking past her security gate with the mailman after her landlord refused to buzz him in. Stepping off the elevator onto the 4th floor, Anzaldo approached the apartment 407 and knocked on the door. No answer. Rang the bell. Nothing. If the door is unlocked, he thought to himself, it means she's home. His cell phone camera focused in his hand. Anzaldo reached for the knob, twisted it, and stepped into the entryway and immediately noticed an odor. It was the smell of death, he said.
Oh, my God. He filmed it?
I think just in case so nobody would blame him for
just
something.
in case it was something crazy.
Yeah. You never know. You don't want to. That makes sense. That's why the cops do it.
Yeah.
That's why they film the crime scenes. So he walked past the bathroom and kitchen and turned into the den. Turning to his left, the manager looked through the open doorway of the bedroom. Lying on her right side and tucked neatly under a white down comforter, Laurer appeared to be sleeping peacefully. Anzaldo could see the top of her forehead, but a pillow obstructed the view of her face. He lifted it away. There was no vomit, no blood. Her eyes were open. She was staring straight ahead.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Just dead. Yep.
Staring at you.
Staring. Oh, that's
shit.
horrifying. 2 pill bottles rested on a nightstand next to her bed. Although toxicology reports weren't released yet, he believed it was an accidental overdose of Valium and Ambien because she took it all the time. He says he doesn't think it was a suicide. He said she didn't want to die. That is rough. She's only 45.
Wow.
40 fucking 5. That is fucking sad, man.
So young.
That is really, really terrible. A message to her Facebook page said, "It is with deep sadness to inform you today that we lost a true icon, a real-life superhero. Joanie Laurer, a.k.a. Chyna, the 9th wonder of the world, has passed away. She will live forever in the memories of millions of fans and all of us that loved her. Stephanie McMahon tweeted, "She was truly a pioneer in our industry and she will be missed. And I'll enjoy fucking her ex-boyfriend that I stole from her for a long time in the future while we keep having children." So yeah, that's tough, man. So they said on the one fan wrote, "Chyna was a very important part of my childhood, somehow part of life." Yeah, that happens. A lot of people wrote about how they met her and she was kind to them and all that kind of thing. And that's how she was. She wasn't a mean person. She just had a problem. TMZ cameras captured her body as it was wheeled toward an ambulance as well. That's the nice business model to have. And Zaldo contacted her family members and close friends, then posted the news on her official website, therealchyna.com. Her sister said, "All I kept thinking after she died was that poor girl. She wanted so badly to be loved and accepted, but she never had a loving, connective relationship with anybody. People just used her and sucked her dry. At least now she's at peace. So, yeah.
Terrible way to phrase that, but okay. Why do they
every
always
single
do
person
it?
does it. Every single fucking person does it. Small Town Murder.
Why do that?
It's every time. They can't help it. It's crazy. They say these words that are definitely in the wrong spot here. Yeah. So the day following her death, the post on WWE.com expressed sadness about it and featured a video of her winning the Women's Championship. They said, after years without acknowledging her, WWE played a posthumous tribute video on the April 25th episode of Raw. Yeah. Haven't mentioned her in 15 years, but we can get a rating out of this. People will watch this shit.
Let's talk about it.
Man, a short memorial article was also published on Howard Stern's official website, lamenting her death and describing her as a fan favorite with a great sense of humor about herself. Mike Mooneyham of the Post and Courier stated that after Chyna's death, it was, quote, an oft-asked question as to when she would be inducted into the Hall of Fame of WWE. Jim Ross said that Chyna had an overwhelming desire to be inducted during her lifetime. Here on February 9th, 2015, during a WWE Network podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H mentioned that she deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, but that her career in porn might prohibit it.
It might overshadow it.
Yeah. In interviews shortly after her death, Triple H said that she's definitely warranted a place in the Hall of Fame, and Stephanie McMahon said she was sure Chyna would be inducted, but didn't know what year it would happen. 2 months after her death, no family members traveled to Redondo Beach for her public memorial service on June 22nd or her burial the next morning. Jesus, that's fucking sad. Dude, that's just sad. That is depressing, man.
Nobody showed up.
Fuck, dude. Instead, as the ashes of the most famous female pro wrestler in history danced away in the Pacific, her mourners included the manager and his 4 children, an ex-boyfriend she hadn't seen in 11 years, a rented preacher reciting a prayer off a wrinkled note card, and 2 members of her social media team she'd never met.
Never even met them.
That's who's there.
The people that answer my DMs.
Dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, that is fucking...
heartbreaking. I wish I'd have known. I'd have gone to that.
No shit. That's sad, dude.
To be the only person that anybody on this show recognizes.
That is...
And Jimmie Whisman.
Fuck yeah. Hey, there he is. Hey, nice to see you.
That's fucked up.
Sean Waltman, he wasn't there for the burial, but he must have been here for some sort of memorial service here.
To see if there's any money left.
anything at all. The June 22nd memorial service, he showed up and said, "I'm sure people are probably wondering what the hell I'm doing here." He spoke for almost 6 minutes, and he said, "I want to say in front of everyone that, Joanie, I'm really, really sorry. I hope you forgive me for not taking better care of you." He said a few hours later, over a slice of pepperoni pizza at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Hollywood, Waltman seems shaken still. He said, "I should have left her in better shape, but I didn't, and now she's dead. I feel so fucking bad about that. As awful as it sounds, in my heart, I knew this is how it would end." That's sad, too. And Waltman's the type of guy, when you hear his stuff, he's always just like, if he fucks up, he's like, "I fucked that up bad. I'm a fucking idiot for that." Like, he's not a guy who blames anybody else or anything like that. She did on Howard Stern call her second tape with him a rape tape.
You can't do
which Sean Oliver then called Howard Stern to argue with her about, because he said, that's funny. You talked to me on the You Shoot Chyna about it and never said a word that it was a rape tape, and that was a month ago. What are you talking about? So that was a thing. They said the rest of the official remembrance of Chyna often felt more like a production. Tickets were distributed and T-shirts were sold than a memorial. Yeah, because this is not her private one. This is a public one. Coolio performed. Okay.
Why does he keep doing this?
Barry Williams, who is Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch, was there. As were Flick from A Christmas Story. What the fuck weird gathering of people is this? And Joey Buttafuoco, who defeated Laurer in a celebrity box. He's like, I showed up to punch her again. I'm upset she's in a box and I can't.
Yeah, Jesus.
Inside the memorial was more about who wasn't there. Only about 400 people showed up to pay tribute to a woman who once wrestled before a crowd of 68,000. Laurer's mother and siblings chose not to make the trip west. The WWE did not send any representatives. Other than Waltman, the only notable wrestlers who were in attendance were former stars Melina and Rob Van Dam, both of nearby Los Angeles, and neither of whom ever worked with Chyna. Fuck. The following day, after Anzaldo had dumped the last of Chyna's remains into the Pacific Ocean and laid the hot pink urn to rest, a flock of dolphins approached the boat on either side. All 14 passengers hurried toward the railing with their cameras, gasping as they recorded the mammals jumping in and out of the water and wondering, perhaps, if this was Chyna's way of giving them one final memory, one last show. The documentary's videographer said Chyna would have loved this. It's like they're leading her into her new life. Minutes later, as the mourners gathered their belongings and stepped onto the dock, someone asked if the yacht had a name. Smiling gently, the captain nodded. The Disappearance, he said. Yeah. Halfway across the country in New Hampshire, Laura's sister wasn't sure what to make of that title. Chyna may have vanished into the ocean that day, she said, but Joanie disappeared a long time ago. So December 22nd, 2016, the autopsy report comes out here. Los Angeles County Coroner's Office autopsy report obtained by E! Found traces of painkillers oxycodone, oxymorphone, and the anti-anxiety medication Valium, muscle relaxant nordiazepam, and the sleeping pill temazepam. God damn. As well as ethanol, a.k.a. alcohol, found in her system. Yeah, so she was taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pills and drinking. Can't do that.
And taking like very fucking strong ones.
You go to sleep and you don't wake up is what happens if you do that. That's brutal, man. So the coroner's report also said they had found inside a nightstand in her bedroom multiple bottles of prescription medications and an empty blister pack and 2 peach tablets on the floor. They also found a blue tablet and a medication container in the dining room. This is all this shit. Man, that's crazy. They said that her manager said she would self-medicate with alcohol when the meds were not enough. Once I noticed she was over-medicating, I knew it was out of my hands, he said. There was no other way to do it than an intervention. He reached out to A&E and said that it was going to be that week they were doing it.
Yeah.
He said the shooting she was shooting her documentary. At times it was stressful, but she was doing okay. She was doing yoga and a lot of amazing things. So that's sad. Her brain was donated to science to study the effects of CTE as well, which that's good. However, the brain had naturally decomposed to a point where it could not be definitely determined because she was in there for 3 days decomposing.
Yeah.
February 18th, 2019, Chyna is announced as an inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019. Yes, as part of D-Generation X. All of them as one. Triple H, that's Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Waltman and all them. Yeah. Levesque spoke to ESPN of the complexities he mentioned in the 2015 podcast, but after describing her in-ring accomplishments, said 100% deserves the honor. Although she was being inducted as part of a group, Triple H said that she deserved to be inducted a second time as well for her individual career. Shawn Michaels also endorsed that idea, stating, of all the people in this group and D-Generation X as a whole is deserving, but I don't think there's anybody that would argue Chyna's not the most deserving of an induction.
Sure.
She was a big fucking deal, man.
I wouldn't say she is not she's definitely deserving.
She deserves that for sure. I mean, fucking Coco Beware is in there. Are you joking? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of bad guys in there.
Not that he's a bad guy. He's just a fucking opening match, lower mid-card tops guy. He's in the fucking Hall of Fame.
We've done a lot of stories about a lot of bad guys.
Yeah. No shit. So August 14, 2019, mother of Chyna threatens to sue Autopsy, the show Autopsy, on her death. Here. The mother here, she's trying to stop the television network Reels from airing an upcoming episode of the new docuseries Autopsy, The Last Hours of, where they do like a last day. I've seen the ads for it, which promises to reveal the truth about the former wrestler's death. Her mom said, "I'm not too happy about this, to say the least. Whatever happened in her last hours is just that, supposition and conjecture. Not the truth, as no one knows it. Not the truth, as no one knows that, not even me. I don't know why so many people would continued to be fascinated with the dark side and the end of Joanie's life rather than the positives about her life, and pretend that they know the truth about what happened and have the need to drag me, her mother, and my family through all this dark conjecture over and over again." That's fair. She then said, "It's just another way to cash in on her death. Appalling to me. Leave the girl and her family alone." Yeah, that'd be nice. The synopsis for the August 25th episode of Autopsy that focuses on her reads as this. On April 20th, 2016, professional wrestling legend Chyna died from an overdose in her Los Angeles apartment. Once celebrated as the ninth wonder of the world, Chyna's life unraveled as she left WWE and became infamous as a casualty of drug and alcohol abuse. Okay. They say a coroner and forensic pathologist, Dr. Michael Hunter, says after a 4-year mysterious long exile in Japan, Chyna returned to the U.S. intent on reinventing herself, only to die 9 months later at the age of just 46. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, that's just, they don't even, I mean, we're talking about her too, but we're trying to, like, give humanity and context and, like, the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah,
we're not just like,
story.
Here's how she fucked up she was the last day of her life. You know?
It's
like
more biographical. It's a piece that describes of why she's relevant and an important person, and also why it went bad.
Yeah.
How it went bad. What the fuck? Have some humanity for the poor
How'd
guy.
you fall from grace? Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, I expect a contact. The mother said she told them she expected a contact immediately back, saying that you won't be airing the program, but she's threatening to sue and all this, and everyone connected with this, including these supposed friends that they interviewed to produce whatever they produced, needs to be put on notice, warned, and informed that I'm going to take legal action on this. You can't sue someone for talking to a documentary is the problem. That's not.
How crazy is it that the worst thing that happened to her was when she quit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Damn it.
She said, and that includes Carrie, which I think is her sister.
Yeah?
She said, I have informed Carrie publicly on her Facebook page that she needs to inform those who have had a part to play in making of this film. Chyna's mom blamed the emotional distress, therefore physical distress, that the show's existence has caused her, not to mention not giving anyone else clearance to use any of their daughter's likenesses or private medical information. That's kind of public after a while. She cited an old-school social media post that Newton made while filming the Autopsy episode, in which she claimed to have had a blast on set. She had a blast filming it? How morbid and disgusting is that? How can you have a blast portraying a human being who died so tragically? I guess that's the person who played her.
It's work.
Yeah. How can you even consider taking on the role of playing her without checking with your lawyers whether or not it was cleared by the estate? Because that's not your job as an actor. You go, there's an audition. You go for it. You don't go, what's the status of the clearance with the estate on? You're a fucking actor.
How's the family feel about this piece? Look,
she's making scale $700 fucking dollars. Leave her alone.
We got a green light. Fucking and take two.
An actor has no idea how any of that works. And if they ask, it's a really good way not to get hired, because they're like, what the fuck are you asking about our clearances? Don't worry about that. It's not your problem. So they said that it's just unbelievable. If you continue on with this and defame Chyna or tarnish her legacy in any way, you're really opening yourself up to defamation, not to mention personal and emotional duress on the part of myself and her family because of what you're doing. She doesn't know laws very well, I don't think, that lady. None of that is legally anything.
It's not pertinent to this.
No. Yeah. Reps for Reels wouldn't immediately comment on this, a spokesperson offered a statement to Wrestling Sheet but refused to mention Chyna or her mother directly. They said, Autopsy, The Last Hours of, responsibly explores the circumstances of the passing of well-known and genuinely loved celebrities who the public cares about immensely. The Real series generates much feedback from our viewers, ranging from fans who tell us it provides closure, medical professionals who praise its scientific accuracy, and many who gain helpful perspective of health issues that might not otherwise receive attention, like Karen Carpenter, who brought anorexia into the public consciousness, and more recently with Prince, whose passing focused attention on the opioid epidemic. So, April 20th, 2017, on the anniversary of her death, mind you, a trailer was released for Wrestling with Chyna, a special documentary featuring Chyna's life from almost her very beginning to after she left the wrestling business to her last days of life. Vice TV aired it in 2021 with the exclusive interviews from friends and family members and her manager. So her mom got a check for that one. Good for her. So net worth here is... Oh, boy. Yeah. They say... When you look up net worths, they're never right. Yeah. On the internet, they're like, she had a net worth of about $500,000 at her death. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No. That's fucking crazy. So can't get enough of Chyna. People can't get enough. You can't get enough. That's all we have for it. But you can get a Chyna signed Fleer WWF WrestleMania Wrestling Divas autograph card here.
Oh.
And it's her. Here's the picture of it here. I don't know what year it's from.
Oh, yeah. That's not bad.
No, it's $200 or best offer. Then Chyna Mattel Elite Action Figure Legends Series Degeneration X, which is a cool figure, actually.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's only $18.39.
Is that right? It looks big, too.
Look at her hands.
Yeah.
She got cock-jerking hands. They gave her like a... I know it's to hold things like a G.I. Joe.
Looks like she can fucking reenact Queen of the Ring.
Her kung fu grip is solid, it looks like.
Golly.
And then finally...
That's a big action figure dick that fits in there.
It does, yeah. A big old action figure cock. She needs one of those porn cocks to fit that. And you can get the WWF WWE Chyna Fitness More Than Meets the Eye VHS video geared for all fitness levels. There it is.
There it is.
And
you can be fit like her.
That is $9.94 or best offer. So pretty inexpensive there. You can find your VCR in an attic somewhere. You got it.
Yeah, break that back out. See if you can find a VCR repairman to fix it.
Why not? So anyway, there you go, everybody.
Wow.
That is Chyna. Finished it up.
Discovered deceased staring at you.
That's horrifying.
That's crazy. Nobody knows that.
That's fucking horrifying, isn't it? Man.
The worst.
So, yeah, this is a sad story, obviously. I mean, it's sad. It's good for a while. This is the ultimate, like, this story needed 3 parts because her life is in 3 acts. There is, like, opening and I'm a wrestling star.
Yeah.
That's one
Doing
spot.
Great. Yep.
Then you got the middle ground, which is I'm trying to figure out who I am outside of wrestling. I'm trying to act. I'm trying to do this. And I did a little porn. And then there's the third act here.
And the victim of the initial, I guess, swing and phase and fame of the reality show.
Exactly,
You know what I mean? And she's a victim of it, really.
Oh, totally. People wanted more of that. They wanted more, gossip and things of that nature.
Reality?
So,
I don't know.
it's very fucking sad. Then the third part was just, I mean, from the beginning of this on, it was just all bad. We started out with her saying, I'm doing better. I'm good now was the first thing she said, and then went downhill from there.
Act 3, recovering from being a victim of reality.
Fuck, man. Yeah, it's brutal. So, brutal stuff here. So, if you enjoy that show, please tell the goddamn world about it. A 3-part Chyna series, a lot to put together. Where do you see the Evil Knievel thing we have coming up?
Boy.
I don't even know how many parts it's going to be. A bunch, because it's the craziest fucking story I've ever heard in my life.
It's a wild family.
Literally, he's the craziest person I've ever heard of. Like, that I've ever read a lot about. Murderers, everything else included. No one's as insane as this person. He's crazy. So I can't wait to get into this. Every minute is like, here's another crazy thing he did. Even like, when we do like stats of an athlete, he played, in 12 games this year. His stats are, then he tried to jump a fucking canyon with a motorcycle and crashed. That's the most boring it gets, is him flying hundreds of feet through the air to
back together.
almost get killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. So we'll get into all that. Tell your friends about it. Post on whatever, or post on social media, whatever app you're on. Give 5 stars. It really, really fucking helps a lot. I'm telling you that right now. Follow on social media at Crime and Sports. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows. Get your merchandise for all the shows. Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and Small Town Murder. Everything is right there. Tickets for live shows. February 7th, Small Town Murder, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Let's go.
Columbus the next night is sold out. So if you want to go, if you're in the Ohio Valley, you want to go to a show, that's the show to go to. Can't wait to see you on February 7th. Shutupandgivememurder.com, patreon.com/crime in sports. Hundreds of bonus episodes, new ones every other week, only for $5 a month. You can't fucking beat that. It's great. And we got more shit for you this week. We'll talk about that. We cannot wait. But the other thing you get with Patreon, the important part, is you get a shout out at the end of the show, and that comes right now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the people who I never want to find staring at me dead. Hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producers are Gary Howard, Tyler Combs, Matthew Britt, Vanessa Thompson, second place in the Fantasy League.
Wow.
Cottage Classic Docs. I'm not sure what that is. I imagine if you Google it, you'll find out. Jake Adranya, probably. It's a GNA. I don't know. Adranya? Adragna. It's Adranya, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Gangsters moving silent. It's like lasagna.
Like lasagna.
Jeez. Yeah, all right. Peyton Meadows, other producers this week. Peyton Meadows, Beth Bowie, Happy Hour in Midland, Texas, back home, I think. Janice Hill, Elizabeth Cracknell, Stacy Clement, Brea Weeks, D Money, had a kid. Ellen Torque, Torke. That's Torque, right? Maybe it's Torquey. Who knows? Ryan Marlink, Carrie Keller, DeMonte Marley, Jamie Gates, Tyler with no last name, Todd LeBister, Joe Patterson, Nicole G, Chris H, Stephanie Robertson, Biscuits in the Bathroom, Tori Merrill, David. Well, just stay in there because that's the safest place. David DeMoss, Streets Rider, Michael D, Maria Sherman, Morgan Prine, RVZ. Chad Roberts, Amy Bates, Maureen McLaughlin, June Morris, Koopy with no last name, Dennis Verhoeven, Nathan Lippert, Matthew with no last name, Rick Matthews, Jay with no last name, Moosh McKenzie, LT, the letters L and T, probably not that one, Marion Hawk, Rebecca Crutchfield, Douglas McClurkin, Lily Fortenbaugh, Leanne Hill, Susan Fletcher, Alexis with no last name, Gabrielle Godoy, Nick James, not Amy Oliver, Burns, God damn it, Nicole Williams, Josephine Lancaster, Solen de Tassany, it's
that's a long one,
right? I don't know. There's no G. There is a G. GNY? Who the fuck knows?
These silent G's are killing us, people.
Miranda Presnell, Aaron Terra, Trey Harn, Harry Trotter, probably not. Sky Davis, Benjamin Patnode, Rebecca Ramey, Terry Stanley, Betty Warren, Leslie Dixon, Linda Morris, Jacqueline D, Amanda Walkup, Denise Carter, Ella Kopek, Angela Robinson, Karen with no last name, Natalie Lewis, Oscar Walters, A.L., the letters A and L, the whole state of Alabama, James.
Or just a guy named Al.
Possibly. Maybe it's AI. I don't know.
AI, Allen Iverson's here for us? Good. That's cool. Thanks, Al.
Alexandra Shea, J.C. Chavez, Parker Brown.
Getting all the groups
Aaron
behind
Walker,
us today.
Bone-eaten snot flower. I don't know.
That's one of the Bone Thugs guys. The Bone Thugs is behind us too. See, look at that. We're doing great.
Yeah. Fleshing, busy, and bone-eating snot flower.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He's the one with the deep voice.
Yeah, that's why you don't know his name, because he doesn't have a lot of parts. But when they're in there, you notice him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He gets.
He's the guy.
All right, Forrest Bear, probably not. There's no way somebody named their kid Forrest when their last name is Bear.
I really hope so.
That'd be amazing. Brooks Crandall, Megan with no last name, D. Lowe, Dan W., Joe Smart, Coy Cresta, BBT. Yeah, right. I don't know what that means. Patrick Rogers, Alyssa Liebild, just Monica. She doesn't have a nickname. Not Mo, not Mon, not Moni. It's just Monica.
No last name either.
Forrest Wonderly, James. I don't know if Name your kid Forrest if your last name's Wonderly. Madeline Dixon, Britt with no last name. Eliza with no last name. Sydney James, Stephanie Hooligan. I think that is Miss. Oh, that's not her last name. I think Apple corrected that to that.
It's a hooligan.
Kayla Vinson, Doug with no last name, Katie Lee, Chris with no last name, Thomas Cross, Jessica Anderson, Justin Shoemaker, Kyle C, Sky Deceit, Callie Slaughter, James Kidd, Philip Anderson, Mary V, Jen Mack, Shelby LeBevre, Daryl with no last name, Trish, it might be Lebarve.
Oh.
I don't know. Trish with no last name, April Horn, Mary Kathleen Vittoria Marchese, Tonya Santos, Jason with no last name, Caitlin Battles, what is that, Batgees? I think it's Battles. Davis W, Jason Doc Noise, Kara M, Andre Gross, Kevin with no last name, Sean LaMontagne, Scott Michalski, what? Michalski? I don't know, Michalski. Thomas Dunn, Tom Scott, Rebel Marie, Leah Barber, Dominic Anaya, Aaron Stewart, Crystal Goodrich, Athenia Awesome, Mary Jivaden, Trisha Hall, Jennifer Brock, nope, that's just Bach, Sarah, what is that, Kurzchick? No fucking way. Jared Grimm, Bill Jeterman, Ryan Flickinger, Daniel Davidson, Charlie with no last name, Ron Key with no last name, Larry Denman, Jane Hamlin, Jenny Lien, Tracy Baldwin, Matt Turner, Jamie Cuton, Dana Cox, David and Melinda, Brianna Freeman, Nichelle Butthead, Fletcher, Chris Reagan, Sophie Weeks, Stephanie Leopold, Krista with no last name, Leslie Harper, Stephanie Osterlin, Christy Stevens, Heidi Shingleton, Tia Ivan Joanie, fuck if I know, Emily, Amael, Riffle, Jordan Grant Gamble, Julie Myers, Liz Chandler, Deandra Duhart, Sherry Weston, Amber with no last name, Beth with no last name, Cody Luce, Labrita Roja, Lubrita Cheetah,
wow.
Amanda Kay, Daryl Abbott, and all of our patrons. You guys are the fucking best.
Thank you so much, everybody, for all that you do for us. You're the life fucking blood of this show and all the shows we do. We do it for you. So hopefully you love it. And thank you for all that you do for us. And keep coming back. You want to follow us on social media. Real easy. Just head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Same place you get those tickets. And you can get all the links to everything. Keep coming back. Right, hang out with us all the time. And we'll be excited to see you live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.